Welcome back to Hollywood Bulletin. Today, we are bringing you the extraordinary and emotional true story of Jonathan Antoine, the boy whose voice left Britain's Got Talent and the entire world stunned, and whose journey will keep you on the edge of your seat until the very last word. So stay with us until the end, because this is not just the story of a singer. It is the story of a fighter, a survivor, and a man who turned unimaginable pain into breathtaking beauty. Our story begins in the quiet suburbs of Essex, England, where Jonathan was born in 1995. From a young age, he was different, shy, withdrawn, and always feeling slightly apart from the world around him. While other children were running around the playground carefree, Jonathan preferred sitting alone, humming little tunes to himself. Music came to him naturally, like it was part of his DNA. Yet from the age of just 4, his life was marked by cruelty from others. Children mocked his size. They would point, whisper, and sometimes say things loudly enough for him to hear. By the time he entered primary school, the bullying had escalated. Classmates threw food at him during lunch, called him names every single day, and teachers often looked the other way. At age 10, a substitute music teacher heard him sing in class and was stunned. She described his voice as something rare and extraordinary, a sound that felt like it came from another era. She encouraged his parents to nurture his talent. Soon, Jonathan was studying classical music and opera, devouring recordings of Pavarotti and Andrea Bocelli, memorizing entire pieces after hearing them just once. He had perfect pitch and a near photographic memory for music, but even as his skills grew, so did the bullying. By 15, he weighed nearly 300 pounds. Each insult chipped away at his confidence, and he developed severe anxiety. He would avoid eye contact, struggle to speak in groups, and often retreat into his room for hours, listening to music to block out the world. Still, his passion for singing only deepened. At 15, he entered the Stratford and East London Music Festival and stunned the judges by scoring the highest marks in the competition's history. He was invited to join the Royal Academy of Music's junior department, a massive honor for someone so young. But it was a meeting with a fellow student named Charlotte Jaconelli that would change the course of his life. Charlotte was confident, outgoing, and had a natural chemistry with Jonathan. She saw his talent and believed in him more than he believed in himself. In early 2012, Charlotte learned that Britain's Got Talent auditions were closing in just hours. Jonathan didn't feel ready and almost didn't go, but Charlotte convinced him, even filling out the application herself minutes before the deadline. On the day of the audition, Jonathan walked onto the stage wearing a plain t-shirt and jeans, his head slightly lowered. Simon Cowell muttered a comment about his appearance. The audience seemed unsure. Then the music began, and Jonathan opened his mouth. The first note of the prayer poured out like a wave of pure gold. The audience gasped. Amanda Holden's eyes widened. Simon leaned forward. Within seconds, the theater was on its feet. It was one of the most unforgettable auditions in Britain's Got Talent history. Backstage, Jonathan was overwhelmed by the reaction, but he also felt a strange mix of joy and fear. Joy because for the first time in his life, he felt accepted. Fear because the attention was so overwhelming. Jonathan and Charlotte sailed through the competition, reaching the finals and finishing second. But Simon was quick to sign them. Their debut album together soared up the charts and went gold. They toured the UK and even performed for the Queen. The future seemed limitless, yet artistic differences quietly grew. Jonathan wanted to pursue pure opera, while Charlotte preferred musical theater. In 2014, they parted ways amicably. Jonathan's first solo album, Tenor, debuted at #1 on the classical charts, making him the youngest tenor ever to do so. But behind the success, Jonathan still faced inner battles. The pressure of fame, the constant travel, and the demands of the music industry often left him drained. He battled panic attacks and struggled to adjust to life under the spotlight. His weight became a constant subject of media attention. In interviews, he sometimes looked away from the camera, speaking softly, still unsure of himself. In private, he was dealing with something he didn't yet understand. In early 2023, shortly after turning 27, Jonathan finally received a diagnosis of autism. For him, this was a revelation, a missing piece of the puzzle.
It explained his lifelong struggles with crowds, loud environments, and sudden changes. Instead of feeling defeated, Jonathan felt empowered, saying it allowed him to understand himself in a way he never had before. During this period, he also began a remarkable physical transformation, losing over 70 pounds through daily walks, healthier eating, and medical treatment for a thyroid issue that had gone undiagnosed for years. Fans noticed his confidence growing, his posture stronger, his interviews more relaxed. During these years, Jonathan also found love, meeting Canadian waitress Michelle Doucet online during one of the lowest points of his life. Their connection grew quickly, and by 2016, they went public with their relationship. She became his anchor and greatest supporter, inspiring many of his most heartfelt performances, one of which was on his album Belief. In recent years, Jonathan has sold out concerts across Europe, America, and Asia. He has shared the stage with legends like Plácido Domingo and performed with orchestras in venues most singers only dream of. Now he is preparing for the release of his upcoming documentary, Beyond the High C, which will include never-before-seen footage of his early life, private moments, and behind-the-scenes stories from his rise to fame. Today, Jonathan Antoine stands not just as a singer, but as a symbol of resilience, proving that no matter how deep the scars of the past run, they can be transformed into something beautiful. His story is one that continues to inspire millions around the world. And if you are moved by his journey, make sure you subscribe to Hollywood Bulletin, press the bell icon, and stay tuned for more incredible stories like this one, because Jonathan's best chapters may still be ahead.